As one coach put it, Lawson Monroe has an amazing volleyball IQ, is a phenomenal blocker, and the best teammate they've ever coached. Cat Monroe, the accolades just keep coming in for this Pace Academy 2026, a Brown commit, LakePoint Sports now Volleyball Player of the Year for 2024. What in your mind sets Lawson apart as a competitor?
So Lawson is a phenomenal athlete. She's a three-season athlete here at Pace. Obviously top-notch volleyball, but also a very, very strong basketball player. And then also plays tennis on our doubles. And so she just naturally kind of has that high-level athlete IQ. But really in the volleyball world, her ability to apply feedback is just uncanny. Like she has this uncanny ability to apply feedback. You tell her to do something and she really thinks about it deeply and is able to make it happen. It's not the first try, and she's persistent with it, and she just keeps going. And so her hunger for the game and now growth is just blowing up. I mean, it's growing fast.
For a program that has won 8 straight GHAC championships, the term legacy is part of the culture, but how has she continued to uplift this program and the players around her?
Yeah, I think coming into this year, Lawson's been a starter for us for ninth and 10th grade, but she was behind some pretty big powerhouse offensive players. And we were, even as a coaching staff, kind of unsure how she would kind of find her footing or her place on this team, really taking on almost, some big roles and kind of carrying the team on her back as our main offensive player. But if anybody's watched her play, she is quiet but effective. She's not this like over the top cheerleader type person, but what she communicates is effective both verbally and her nonverbals. She's very loud nonverbally. You can tell she's always like supporting her teammates, pointing them out, making sure they feel valued and heard. And it's not the rah-rah type that sometimes we see with your captains. She's more of that kind of servant leader that's reserved. She also just has a high EQ. She's super thoughtful. She can tell if somebody's not having the best day early, and she kind of pinpoints that and will just take time to check in, make sure everybody's doing okay. And she's just a selfless player, those ones that just does whatever she can for the team. I've not seen many 6'1" kids die for a ball and hit the floor like she does on defense.
For all that she's accomplished so far, you still have a little bit of time left with her. How do you set goals and set expectations for her when she's already accomplished so much to this point?
So really her she started as a middle for us. So she just started as a six rotation outside this year. So the ceiling is so high because she transitioned positions and she just kind of recently started focusing on volleyball. When Lawson commits to something, I mean, she's all in. And when she decided last year that she wanted to play volleyball in college and that was the sport that she was going to focus on, and now she still does play basketball and just some other things, that this is going to be her priority. She went full steam ahead. I mean, she's in the gym all the time. She'll get extra reps. She'll do kind of whatever it takes. So I think for us, we just kind of keep finding, some more offensive shots. She's our best blocker. I think, she knows an area that we will continue to work on serving, something that she wants to grow in. But she'll attack the ball to the back row, the front row. And I think she will continue to challenge herself as a defensive player because it doesn't come as naturally as offense does.
Well, Kat, thank you so much. Now let's get to know LakePoint Sports Volleyball Player of the Year. What a year for Pace Academy 2026. Lawson Monroe, who adds LakePoint Sports Volleyball Player of the Year to her long list of accolades. Lawson, congratulations on an incredible 2024.
Thank you so much.
State champion, 4A Player of the Year, All-State Player of the Year, AVCA All-American. And ahead of all that, you made your commitment to Brown to take your game to the next level. Can you describe what this year and specifically the past 6 months have been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a really exciting year. I've had a lot of accomplishments, but it's mainly because of my team. We've had a really great team, a really fun and exciting year. Yeah.
So the 2024 high school season included a position change for you. And in talking to Coach Cat Monroe, it was a year in which you also made volleyball your main focus athletically. So what challenges came with the position change and what was being asked of you on the court? And at what point did you maybe feel like, okay, everything's starting to click for me?
Yeah, so last year I kind of had to step in as a middle because one of our players was hurt. And this year kind of just switching back to an outside, playing six rotation outside. What kind of changed for me, I just like loved the sport. Like all my teammates made it really exciting and just fun to play.
Talking to Coach Monroe, your leadership style, you're a little bit more quiet. How did you kind of maybe have to change that this year as a little more was being asked of you?
Yeah, so last year we had a lot of seniors, and with them leaving, like I kind of had to step up as a leader for this team. And so I kind of just had to like realize that I was one of the leaders and just make like a lot of like changes to like the other younger players and just kind of help them like being more positive and stuff.
As I mentioned, you've already made your commitment to Brown University. Tell me about the program and what ultimately made you decide that's where I got to be.
Yeah, so when I stepped on the campus, it kind of immediately just like felt like home. All the coaches were really supportive and really encouraging of me. They were really nice right when I got there. All the players were really welcoming. And yeah, it just kind of seemed like where I should be.
You capped the high school season at LakePoint Sports with the Knights' eighth straight state championship, the longest streak for any volleyball team in Georgia history. 16 kills and 11 digs for you in the championship. That gave you a ridiculous 506 kills and 275 digs on the year to go with 36 aces and 31 blocks. Where do you feel like the game can get even better in setting the tone for Pace to make a run at a ninth straight title?
Yeah, so I think just kind of working with all of our players. We have a really close team, so I think that really helps us. Just our passers are really good, our setters are really strong. We have one going to Virginia, and then just our hitters kind of just always being supportive of each other. I think that really helps.
No athlete goes on a journey like you're on by themselves. So when you think about those outside influences, who has really been those impactful people in your life to this point athletically?
Yeah, my whole family has really helped me throughout this process. And then also all of my coaches. I had two coaches, Lane and Jen, last year, who really just like kind of helped me go through this process and they were really encouraging. And they kind of developed me into the player that I am today. So without them, like I wouldn't be able to have this career.
Well, Lawson, I am excited to see what you have in store for us for next year. Congratulations again on a remarkable 2024.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.